Hi everyone, it's Miss Goldman. We are here for our 28th Eureka lesson of Module 5. We're actually getting really close to the end, so um, stick with it with the fractions. We're almost done with them. As always, I'm sure you already know what I'm going to say. If you need to use the PDF version because something is not aligned in the Google Doc version, that is all right. You can just redraw it in, or if you are printing these out, make sure you are printing them out lesson by lesson, as we do not know when we're going to be going back to school. And if you are doing this on paper, make sure you are sending me the pictures so that you can receive credit for your work. And as always, make sure to press pause if I'm going too fast. And remember, these are the lessons of what you missed if you did not come to the live lesson or you are here twice to hear this lesson. So let's get started. So for these first 5 problems, what we're going to do is shade them all to compare the fractions and circle the larger fraction for each problem. So we have 2/5 and 2/3. As you can see, I have already shaded them in, and 2/3 is bigger, so I made a circle. So what you're going to do is the same thing for number 2, where it's 2/10 and 2/8, 3/4 and 3/8, 4/8 and 4/6, and 3/3 and 3/6. And we're going to go over the answers now. So let's go over these answers. For 2, we see 2/8 is bigger. For number 3, 3/4 is bigger. For 4, 4/6 is bigger. And for 5, 3/3 is bigger. Again, if you see, we're still working with the same numerator for each of these. There's the same amount that we're shading in, and we are just comparing it with the denominators. And like before, we said the smaller number for the denominator, so this is actually a bigger denominator because you're getting more out of it. So let's keep going. For number 3, it says, after softball, Leslie and Kelly each buy half a liter of water. Lily drinks 3/4 of her water, and Kelly drinks 3/5 of her water. Who drinks the least amount of water? Draw a picture to support your answer. So remember, we're doing now fourths and fifths. Sorry, wrong number there. Oh, that one came out crazy. And you can either draw it going this way, if you want like a water bottle, or this way. Does not matter. So take your time. Make sure when you are doing this one, because we're also talking about two different people, you want to try to label these. All right, and we are going to go over the answers. So I said Kelly drinks the least amount of water. And you can see I drew them out. I put them side by side. And let's go on to our next problem. It says Becky and Mallory get matching piggy banks. Becky fills 2/3 of her piggy bank with pennies, and Mallory fills 2/4 of her piggy bank with pennies. Whose piggy bank has more pennies? Draw a picture to support your answer. So remember, we're working with 2/3 and 2/4. And remember, you also want to label your piggy banks. And you can just, again, draw them out either going this way, if you want them upwards, or across. Oop, that went a little far. So it does not matter. All right, and we're going to go over the answer. So as you can see, I drew them out, and I wrote who was who, and I wrote Becky has more pennies. So let's go on to our last problem. So it says Heidi lines up her dolls in order from shortest to tallest. Doll A is 2/4 foot tall. Doll B is 2/6 foot tall. Doll C is 2/3 foot tall. Really, I'm sure you're thinking those should be, say, feet tall, but that's okay. So I read it how it was written, just like you should always check your work. Apparently, the book should also check its work. And you're going to compare the heights of the dolls to show how Heidi puts them in order. Draw a picture to support your answer. Now, I will tell you this. Besides for labeling them all, These dolls are not actually in order yet. You have to move them around. That was one of the big things when I was doing this. I kept thinking, they don't look like they're in order from shortest to tallest. You need to put them in order from shortest to tallest. All right, and we're going to go over the answers. So here you can see how I solved it. I drew them all out and I labeled them A, B, C, and I wrote the doll order should be doll B, doll A, and doll C. So that's the end of this lesson. I hope to see you tomorrow for our next lesson in math at 11 o'clock. See you then, and as always, stay smart, stay safe, and go for the gold. Bye.